about discipline. And I got the idea because I read a really nice meme that talked about, if you're always criticizing your child, then, I can't remember the whole thing, but pretty much that it was being...
It's not good for the child.
It's not for the child. They're not learning. So I thought about discipline. The way I discipline is I try to teach my children. And that's only improved more over time thanks to my older son when he goes to his therapist for his autism. There's new ideas that I get even from his therapist. He's got a great therapist. But, the way it works for me, and I guess that's what we'll start off with, how it works for us. And, everyone has their own way. But I think that maybe certain ways aren't really helping the child. And we're in no way, shape, or form saying, stop doing whatever you're doing. It's like I'm going, stop. I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you used to. Stop what you're doing. Yeah. If anybody remembers that song, let me know. But anyway, so, and it's so easy to get caught up in that quick disciplinary action, like aggressive, angry, yelling, and because we all do it, even I do it sometimes, but then I always correct myself. When I do that, I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. This is what I meant to say. Because once you go into that action of yelling at your kid, they're not even listening to you at that point.
Their mind is shut down at that moment.
And then you wonder why you repeat yourself so much. Because if you repeat yourself so much while you're yelling, it's not
Not listening.
Right. So, the topic is about what are your children learning on the way that you discipline your child. So in the case of our children, like I said, if they do something wrong, then it's a learning moment. This is the time for them to learn. Anytime you discipline your child, anything you do with your child is a learning moment. So I always stop. And like I said, there are times that I don't, but I go back and repair. But most of the times I will be like, okay, look, didn't I ask you to clean this mess up 30 minutes ago? And now we're about to head out to go out to eat. And now this mess isn't clean like I asked you. Now, there's that time where I might be, we're rushing out the door and I look in there and I see the room's a mess. And I ask my son to have his shoes on, have the room clean. I'm like, didn't I tell you to pick up this stuff? And automatically, whenever that happens, the kids jump. Even the ones that aren't in trouble jump when they hear my voice raised. So automatically, I'm already sending out that negative energy. So, but when I come at it what I feel is the proper way, which is constructive, I say, okay, didn't I ask you to clean this up 30 minutes ago? Didn't I tell you to have your shoes on? I asked you to do all these things for a reason. So I explained, first off, why I asked you to do that. And I said, I knew we were going to be leaving 30 minutes from now to go out to eat. Now you don't have your shoes on. Now your room is a mess. And now there are consequences for your actions. So I always explain. I never just say, okay, give me your phone, or you can't do this. I say now, every time they hear that, they know it's coming. They know, okay, I did something wrong, and now because of that, there are going to be actions that are going to be taken against me. So I'll be like, see, because of that, give me your phone. Even Gia, our youngest daughter's 4, but she knows. As soon as you say, okay, did you listen to mommy? Did you do what daddy asked you to do? Are you being really mean right now and being bratty? Okay, give me your iPad. Because there are consequences to your action. Versus, just give me your iPad. What? Because the first thing I say is, why? Because I said so. That never works either. Because you said so, okay? So in other words, you're just showing that you have absolute power over your child, and whatever you do, they have to listen to. That's that. The way I see it, even with our children, they're allowed to question us. They're allowed to be upset because it is human nature to be upset. Or like on the fact that if I told my son, hey, give me your phone, you didn't clean up your room, you're gonna have an hour away from your phone, or 30 minutes. The same exact time that you wasted is the exact amount of time that you're gonna have taken away from you on your phone since you didn't listen. And there's always that, but Dad, but why? Instead of saying, because I said so, okay, there's consequences to your actions. Then and just like I'm talking now is how you can't be all aggressive in their face. You have to, and I'm not saying that everyone that's watching this is a believer in God or anything, but one thing that has really helped me, and I'm not sitting here, hallelujah, and all that stuff, I'm just being honest. One thing that's helped me is, I think once I had children, I started to understand God more. God is loving and He's patient with us. And we're His children. So therefore, guess what? I, in turn, have to be patient and loving with my children. Not one time did you see Jesus when, except for hypocrisy, blasphemy. Those are things that Jesus had no patience for because He knew that would mislead His people. But other than that, you notice that Jesus was always loving and patient when He talked to people. And those are the things that people miss. Even an atheist, if they read the Bible, they could take away from the Bible to learn how to be patient. They want to be negative, you can be negative. But if you look at how Jesus was or how God was, with people, they're loving and patient. They give opportunities even when you make mistakes. So that's what I do as a father. I listen to my children when they mess up, and I allow them to be angry too, as long as it's not being disrespectful. Because that's two different things. So they can be upset if you get your phone or your iPad taken away. You can't play the Friends now because you didn't do this chore yet. They can be upset, but you can't stomp away. You can't raise your voice at me or her. You can't do it. That's disrespectful. But you can walk away crying. You can be upset. Because before, what I used to do, I'd be like, "Are you crying now? Are you?" I would get mad. But it is an emotion, and it was caused by something that happened to them. So therefore, they're allowed to, express those emotions, or even question certain things. Like I always go back to it because it's hilarious. I told my son Dominic, "Look, you gotta quit cussing all the time when you're playing your video game and you're getting angry and stuff. You gotta stop doing that." So what's the first thing you do? What's he do? He said, "Dad,
You cursed.
you curse when you play a video game, right?" So, and you get mad when you play a video game and somebody does something. So in other words, it goes back to, what are we teaching our children?
They are watching what we are doing. So.
Right. So therefore, I laughed. She laughed. And I was like, You're right, Dominic. That means you need to call me out when you see me do that as well, because if I'm asking you to do that, then that means I need to do it too, because my son's only going to learn from what we're doing, or what his other what he's doing at his other house, or any of my children. So, because my son doesn't live with me. So it boils down to, you can't be a hypocrite on your own rules. You can't say, well, because I'm the dad or I'm the mom. If you don't want your children to curse in the house, but you are cursing, you're only teaching them that really there's no big deal on the reason why you're telling them not to curse, except for they can't do it. So you need to really back up what you're saying when you lay down these rules and these laws with your children. And you can't sit there and just like I was saying about the men criticizing your child, man. You need to lift them up, build your child up. And I've heard that. I've got friends, and I don't get in anybody's business. That's why I'll post it here in my video. That way if friends see it, then they go, okay, he might be talking about me. But I'm not going to, ever stay, I stay in my lane. I don't go in someone else's lane. So, I think it's just healthier for the child. And you go, okay, look, you did this. What can we do to make it better? Or are they doing bad in school? Math? Okay. Or like my older son Dominic again. You can feel free to jump in whenever you want. But my older son Dominic, he's very shy. But he's really into voice acting and stuff of that nature. So, to help him break that shyness, I was like, okay, buddy, I understand you're shy. How about you try, and it wasn't just me, it was his birth mother and the therapist, but it was along the lines of how I pushed for it because he always talked about voice acting. I said, don't they have theater? You know, theater help you with your voice acting. You know, or if he's like on Sunday, he was upset about his homework, something he was struggling with. So instead of saying, look, man, just do your homework, you know, it's just sit down and you will get it if you practice and learn it. Instead I said, okay, well, what's the problem? Math. Okay, well, first off, your father ain't that great at math. So you can ask his birth mother, he can ask his mother Cedric. And I said, someone's going to be able to help you, but you can't be angry and upset over the fact that you're frustrated with it. And this kid is better at math than me. I've seen him break down some math equations, but see, he's doing, you know, he's in 10th grade now. So, but, you know, you can't just beat your children down with all that negativity. You have to really lift them up, and you have to really, I think sometimes as parents we can forget that we are teaching our children. No matter what we're doing around our children, we're teaching them all the time. We are the one teachers. Like when they're in school, they learn, they eventually go home. But whenever they're around in your house, it's always a teaching moment, always, because they're always learning. Even if you don't realize you're teaching your children, they are learning everything that you do. You know, whether you lie, whether you are cheating on your taxes, and they see you bragging about it to your friend, you know. All those things, whether they're positive or negative, our children are learning from us. And it's easy as parents for sometimes for people who really don't want to make that effort to say, oh, not really. No, they are. We learn. All children learn from home. That's that simple. So, what do you feel? You have anything you want to? I agree. She agrees. She's a little quiet today. You know why? Because I disciplined her earlier. And I told her, look.
You whooped me.
That's right. I said, look, bottom line, woman. It's like, nah. What do I look like? And that's a whole other subject. But you know what? It really boils down to communication. And we'll revisit that with a video of proper communication in relationships. Not just relationships with your wife, a relationship with your friend, your relationship at work. You know, how do you really talk to someone? How do you really listen to somebody? So we'll do that, you know, in another video. But feel free as always, leave your comments, your ideas and your views. But just remember, if it's we can all get along and agree even if we disagree. But I just personally feel that the more fire you bring to a situation, the more you're just gonna burn everything, and you know, until there's nothing left. Or like Mom always says, no, Dad. It was Dad who said it. Dad said that you can catch more flies with Dookie. Well, you can attract more flies with Dookie, but you can catch more flies with honey. You know, so you just went right past.
Really?
Yeah, that's Wilson.
Oh, I said Kingsborough.
Now, see, this is a teaching moment. Should I?
I'll turn around and
Should I get angry right now?
Yeah,
But like, look,
get
woman,
angry.
didn't I tell you? Or do I take this moment to be constructive and positive? You know.
They did the road. It doesn't look the ugly road that it used to be.
Right, I
Long
understand
needs to be
that.
done.
I understand, but you can learn from this.
Yeah, I'm learning from it.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. That's one thing that that is probably my biggest thing in our relationship, because you know we all have our mistakes.
I
See-
get lost again a lot, and then he gets mad, and then it's like,
Because I've been in 2 severe accidents caused by someone else, and so if I'm not driving, then I got all bright all of a sudden. Booyah! Look at that. That's why I don't always go live with this, so I can adjust the settings for the lighting. But I don't. But because that I'm touchy when I'm driving with somebody, it's not.
touchy.
So if I see like
you could have gone.
driving up on somebody real close, you know, because that's how one of my accidents happened. My vehicle got sandwiched and crunched up, and they were amazed that I walked out of it because I had a short distance from the vehicle in front of me, but the vehicle behind me did not have a short distance. So they got hit, boom. They slammed into me so hard it knocked me out of a short distance into the vehicle in front of me, and then the vehicle in front, they locked up and put their vehicle in park, And guess what? My vehicle had nowhere to go. It just kept getting crunched up. But, so, anyway, I don't want to... Okay. Take 2. Somebody called. I forgot to turn it off. My bad. I'm up here talking, and she's like, are you recording? I'm like, dang, I'm recording.
The whole time talking.
Right. Kind of reminds you when your kids are angry at you, you're talking and they're not really happy.
Yeah. They're mad. You're talking and nobody's listening.
Right. Pretty much. So, we're almost to the gym now. And what you're going to do is you're going to turn on the light.
I am turning at the light.
See how my body language and everything is not aggressive. Get off my screen. But everyone enjoy your rest of your day. We are going to enjoy ours, that's for sure. And
Oh,
just
we're
to,
right by Chuck E. Cheese. We can go to Chuck E. Cheese.
just to steal a saying from Jerry Schwann: if you don't have a good day, you can only blame yourself. And I'm gonna say that all the time now, because he used to say that to me every day. Every day at the end of the work day, because I used to work for him. He was my ex-father-in-law. But he's still a great man with a good time. Where you going left?
I'm going in from right there. I can go in from here. Look, the entrance right here.
Okay, dear.
Right
But
here.
anyway, so every day at the end of the work day, they always say, hey, you have a good day, or you have a good weekend. Remember, if you don't, you can only blame yourself if you don't.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just couldn't find that car. Yeah, we're going to talk about this tomorrow, about communication with each other. Everybody enjoy the day. Peace in the Middle East. 25,000.
G.